Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very packed September board meeting. We appreciate everyone being here. If we could get a call to order.
Mr. Baden?
Here.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Here.
Ms. McKnight?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Stamm?
Here.
If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. With that, we move to item number 2, Board of Education, approval of the board minutes of last month. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns on last month's board minutes? If not, I need a motion to approve.
I so move.
Shelley moves. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lindsay seconds. And Carrie, when you are ready.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Ms. McKnight?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stamm?
Yes.
Thank you. Move on to item number 3, Treasurer's Report. Carrie?
Thank you. First item on the agenda this evening is to approve the monthly financials. These are for the month of July and August of 2024. We had an early August board meeting, August 5th, so we did not have July closed down to have the reports on. So that's why you're approving both July and August this month. Under the donations, we continue to receive some substantial donations. We're always very thankful and appreciative. These donations allow us to do some things that we might not always be able to do. Tonight, we're receiving $1,000 from Next Up Insurance Group to the high school boys soccer program, $25,000 from Hertzfeld Poultry Farms to the Anthony Wayne Athletics, and this is for weight room maintenance and equipment.
And Carrie, if I could just share on that, they actually are very excited about being able to give that donation. It's for the upkeep of equipment,
Oh, upkeep, okay.
and also then like for programming and also. And there's about 1,000 student athletes and hundreds of PE students that actually will benefit from that, and they're looking to do that in January.
Even better. And then the last item is some springs from Merrick Springs to the Anthony Wayne operations for electric door strikes. These are valued at $200. Moving on to item C is to approve the auxiliary funds for fiscal year 24-25. We have Lyell Catholic Schools, $175,723.92, and Discovery Express of $33,608.40. These are funds that go through our district onto the Educational Service Center of Lucas County, where they make all the purchases. So later in the year, when I ask the board to approve items for disposal, and it's items, it doesn't cover salary and benefits, but it covers supplies, materials, and equipment, testing needs, or purchase services. So they're restricted on how the funds are spent. There's also Monclova Christian Academy that's in our district, but they choose to take a direct payment, so that's why you do not see them on here. So, but then the funds go through, we no sooner get them, and we're getting an invoice from the ESC for those funds to go on there, and they handle all the purchasing of that for us. And then under item D is to award the bus bid to Cardinal Bus Sales at a cost of $270,162 from the bid open on August 29th. You may have noticed on the check register that we just paid for buses that we ordered from April of 2023. So it took us 16 months to get buses. We are ordering, that was for last fiscal year. We're ordering this fiscal year. These are what we call stock buses because we wanted delivery within 90 to 120 days and not 16 months. But the cost is up around $6,000 per bus. So, but we will be glad to get those, and then next month we'll be approving the van purchase that we are also seeking quotes on. So, the last item I have is to approve the annual appropriation resolution. Last year, when I presented this appropriation resolution to the board for approval, we were at 1.1 million in an increase. This year, due to attrition, the reductions that have been implemented by the board, and reductions to supply budgets, purchase service contracts, we're increasing our appropriations by $300,000 over last fiscal year. And most of that is due to, when we have a retirement, we have a severance pay that's unpaid sick leave that's entitled to the retiree, or some type of buyout if they're leaving and have accrued vacation. So other than that, due to, even though we've made a lot more reductions, you also have to remember that we have paid our 6 school nurses and 6 teachers out of ESSER funds for the last 3 years, which has saved the general fund money. But those individuals were paid out of the general fund. We were allowed to pay them through ESSER. ESSER is going off the books in September. All funds have to be spent by September 30th. So as of September 14th, our first pay of the new school year, we are taking those people back on. So even with that, though, our appropriations are increasing $300,000. So that's where you can see all the reductions and cuts and attrition at work. So,
You said historically, that's usually over $1 million, or,
it's up there.
yeah.
Yeah, just knowing we were bringing back staff, we've been doing that. So as the ESSER funds have went away, because we had our share, as did all school districts, but as it's went away, if we didn't eliminate the position and we would absorb that position, it was causing increases. So I would say we're usually around 700,000 to 800,000. So. Any questions as far as the treasurer's agenda?
And the buses include we basically get the state minimum standards for a bus, but it does include all the cameras
Yes.
that we put on all of our buses now. But you can see the increased cost year over year, just like your home residence has. Buses cost us more every year. So that $270,000, I remember a few years ago, would buy 3 buses, and now is only
Two
buying 2
buses,
buses.
yes.
So. And they wear out. 3,000 miles a day.
Around
That were-
3,200, Jim.
Yeah, so somewhere between 2 and 4 buses a year that we try to end up
Yes.
replacing. So
Last year, we did 3 buses, and one of them was a handicap bus.
yeah.
So, and then this year, we're doing 2 buses and a van.
And then just a quick note too, can you, just the brief description, permanent improvement funds, so this is not out of our general operating fund, this has nothing to do with normal operating expense, except for the fuel that goes in the bus itself.
Correct. The bus is being purchased out of permanent improvement funds, which is separate from the general operating budget. That's where we would purchase textbooks, equipment. That's where, I can't even think. Operation is salary, benefits, your day-to-day cleaning supplies, that kind of stuff. Where purchase services is something that has a useful life of 5 years or more. We buy a lot of our tech equipment out of there, almost all of our tech equipment out of there. Our textbooks, we buy our online, so many things have went to online licensing for student learning. We purchase all of those out of permanent improvements, but like lawnmowers, all those good things that we have to buy, we would take out of there. We use our operating funds for salary, benefits, and then classroom supplies, fuel, school insurance, property insurance, fleet, all that good stuff. So,
Any other questions for Carrie? If not, I need a motion to approve. I'll move to approve. Jeff, and a second.
I'll second.
Shelley and Carrie, when you are ready.
Mr. Baden,
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer,
Yes.
Ms. McKnight,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Stamm.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we move on to item 4, Superintendent Educational Reports and Recommendations.
All right, thank you. First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight. It's exciting to see so many people here. We have some great things to recognize, some great organizations, some great people, and so forth to recognize tonight, and to have individuals here to support them is a wonderful. Would like to begin with discussing just for a few minutes our parent support groups. The district has so many support groups that actually help our primaries, help the school buildings, help band, our athletics and everything function, that we would not be able to provide the education that we do without those organizations and what they do for us on a day-to-day basis. I'm talking not only about programming, but also about financial commitments that they make to be able to allow programming take place. So what I've asked tonight is I've asked the individuals that are most impacted because of their buildings and so forth to introduce some of these organizations and share a little bit about the organization so that all of us can hear about the great things that are happening, and they're happening because of the support that the district has. So I'd like to begin with Dr. Pfefferly.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kevin Pfefferly. I'm the principal at the high school. I'm going to go through a number of groups here on behalf of John Snyder, athletic director, who is covering a soccer game tonight. So I'm going to go over athletic boosters as well as fullbackers, and just briefly what they do and introduce some key people, and then also talk about our band boosters and choir booster groups very briefly. And again, in appreciation of all of our parents, volunteers that we accept at the high school and have at the high school. They allow us to get so many things done for our students and our athletes, those participating in extracurriculars of any kind. It does not happen with just the staff in the building. Although they pour a ton of time in, it takes our parent groups to really step up and support. So very quickly, athletic boosters, our president, I believe, is here. Trey Tolstom is in the back over there, and Trey is taking over. Wonderful. So Trey, if you want to come on up, we've got a certificate for you. So Trey has taken over as Athletic Boosters president this year and has already started some new initiatives, aggressively campaigning for membership with our Athletic Boosters program. We certainly want to acknowledge the Athletic Boosters for stepping in, making a sizable donation. Correct me if I get this number wrong. We're a little over $53,000 in donations to allow some positions to come back for assistant coaches and our weight room coaches to come back this year. And that is a huge donation so that we can benefit our programs and our students as a result of that. So that came out of their budget, which obviously some other things will take a hit as a result of that donation. But that has helped us tremendously with keeping those programs and our students moving forward. So one of the new initiatives that Trey and the Boosters have kicked off is the Family Fun Night, which was our first home game. And that went very, very well with a lot of participation. And again, we're looking to generate new ideas and some revenue in some different ways. And what Trey has done to step in for Rob Kemmer, who was our previous president, has been very commendable, and we appreciate his time and effort. So thank you, Trey. Next, I see Matt in the back. Matt, if you can come on up here. Matt Cunningham is our fullbackers president. Matt does a ton of behind-the-scenes work in organizing the infrastructure of officers and parents who help us with the support group that helps us with both football as well as cheerleading. And you're going to hear a little bit more about Victory Day from a couple of our guys, Braden and Owen I see back there, and Mr. Brungard. But fullbackers help support Victory Day in a huge way from resources and manpower and you name it. So that's one of the great programs that they both run and carry out. Matt, along with fullbackers, helps organize team meals, coaching needs, ancillary equipment, apparel, you name it, anything that those programs need. Matt helps lead the organization and the infrastructure to help provide those resources. So again, Matt, Trey, all of these people, adults, they give a ton of their personal time to make these programs happen. So again, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Our band boosters, I don't know if we have any of the officers here, but I'm going to go through them all. Amy Rutz is our president. Ginny York is our vice president. Secretary is Kara Stegall, and treasurer is Bethany Foreman. I don't know that we have them here. We do. Come on up. Perfect. Come on up. You get all the accolades that we shower upon them then. Yes. So speaking of, again, one of our key contributors and parents to help us out in the Band Boosters program, we appreciate our officers, but all of the band parents, and I know we have some others in the crowd here, from what they do and organize so that we can have things like our annual Showcase of Bands, which will be September 28th at 7 p.m. at the high school stadium. But they're organizing another annual trivia night as well as a fundraiser, as well as the Big Chicken Barbecue, which happens in May. And those things occur so that we can have the funds for trips. They will be going to Philadelphia, I believe, right around Thanksgiving time in November. And so all the needs, the extra needs that band has that we can't produce on our own as a school, our parents step in and, again, through all of their efforts, make the experience that much more positive for our students. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. And last but not least is our choir boosters. I do want to mention they are in search of that next president right now, but we have a treasurer, Shaughnessy Miller. I don't know that Shaughnessy is here. I don't see her, but I'll quickly mention choir boosters. Again, similar to our band boosters, not yet in number or volume of volunteers, but we're looking to build that program up. They support our upcoming choir trip to New York City, which will take place also in November. And again, they help support our fall play and spring musical, which will be going on, I want to say, at the beginning of November for our fall play and in April for our musical. So again, they're fundraisers. They work with Crown Excellence, which is a fundraising group that we partner with. And again, those funds go towards helping our students in the fine arts. So we appreciate the choir boosters as well. So that's it for the high school, more time than I needed, but we certainly appreciate the parents who help us out. Thank you.
And next I'll ask for Jordan to come up, and he has information to share about his support group for the campus.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jordan Lefevre. I'm the junior high principal, and I work with Matt Smith, who is our middle school principal, and we have the AWPTA, which serves every student from 5th grade to 8th grade. So Bill Anderson is our president. I'm going to call him up. Everyone give Bill a round of applause right now. He loves this attention, so this is really good. Our AWPTA does a lot behind the scenes. Everything from organizing dances for our junior high students to raising money for our PBIS store. That helps us support all the positive things that our kids do day in and day out, which is huge. And one of the biggest things that they do to support us is help us with our school facility dogs. So we got Lorraine last year at the junior high, and Astro's been at FT for a while. So the PTA helps fundraise for those dogs, keep the upkeep, everything that goes in from buying dog food to medications, anything like that. So our PTA supports that. I'm excited for FT's house reveal happening tomorrow. So that's a big PBIS initiative for FT. So I just want to thank AWPTA. And a plug for our first meeting is actually tomorrow. So if anybody that has a 5th grader through an 8th grader wants to come out, it's at the Anthony Wayne Junior High, 6 o'clock at the Media Center. So thank you.
Now I'd ask Mrs. Murray to come up, please.
Thank you, and I'm Betsy Murray, the principal at Monclova Primary. I've got a couple of my MAPS board members here. If I could have Jennifer Johnson, Jackie Haynes, and I have a past person I would like to come up, Jamie Smeltzer. And MAPS is our parent group, the Monclova area parents who are integral to the programming that takes place at Monclova. Just last year alone, we were able to give over almost $32,000 that went back just to the students, families, and staff to enrich, just make the education a little bit better by bringing outside programming in, such as the Toledo Opera, Imagination Station, and then we have a Donuts at Dawn in the spring and the fall, a family fun night at the end of the year in May. And what they pride themselves on, which is so nice for our families, is our families can attend all of these events at no cost. So they're able to have an evening out or a morning out to share with their families and enjoy being in the school setting at no cost because of all the fundraising that MAPS does. So again, I am very, very thankful for what they provide for our students, our community, and our staff. So thank you very much, MAPS.
Right? And Mr. Rhodes?
Thank you. Everyone knows if I don't have notes, I'll go on forever, and that's a bad thing. I'd like to invite up Nikki Hartbarger. Nikki has been our White House Parent Club president now for, I can't count, maybe at least the last 5 years, maybe longer than that, 6 years. So she's put up with me for the last 6 years, so that's an accomplishment in and of itself. Lauren Riemann, Casey Kennedy, and Brianna Caudill are our other officers at this time. Over the last 5 years, we've accomplished quite a few things together. The last 6 years, we refurbished and replenished our library book collection as we transitioned from the old building to the new. When we transitioned to the new building, we put a shade structure out back for our kids. We've bought a lot of STEM resources for our students to be able to use every year. And this year, we set the goal of getting some soccer goals out on our playground. And I think we might have a donation that's going to be covering that very soon. So our kids will be excited to not have to pretend that they're scoring goals in the field. They're going to be able to actually have soccer goals. Our parent club, again, just like the others have mentioned, do a lot of great things for our students every year. Every year we have a carnival. We have multiple movie nights. We do breakfast with a buddy events. We've done a food truck night the last couple of years. We do a Secret Santa event in the winter, events for our boys and our girls. Also, the parent club helps with field trips, so our students can go and have those extra opportunities. And even just offer opportunities for our kids to get spirit wear, to be able to wear. Our elementary kids are proud to be generals just like on the campus. So for those kindergartners and little ones to get those opportunities early in their career is great. For our teachers, Parent Club also has done a fantastic job appreciating our staff, providing us meals, giving the teachers stipends to help with all the money that they spend on our kids. And then also, I don't know what on earth my last note means. I'll quit at that. So, again, Nikki's been great, the ladies have been great, and gentlemen, and so we appreciate them here at White House very much as well. So thanks.
All right. And next we have Jamie Hellinger. Dr. Hellinger is going to stay up here a little bit afterwards as well.
All right, good evening. I would like Marissa McLeod to please come up here and join me. Our Waterville Parents Association is so important to everything that we do in our building. I can add to the long list that Mrs. Murray and Mr. Rhodes have already shared about our movie night events, our book fairs, our General's gift shop, and then different events that we have. But I would really like to highlight really creative, I guess, collaborative effort that we've been a part of with Waterville Parent Association the past 3 years. They, as a nonprofit, were eligible for additional ESSER funding, which we hear a lot about, and we're at the end of the ESSER funding cycle. but they applied for an extended summer learning program through ESSER, and they received a $670,000 grant and that's what has allowed Waterville Primary to do 3 years of summer learning programming for our students. So we've been able to bring our kids and families in throughout the months of June, July, and August for the past 3 summers with the main goal of academic intervention, enrichment, STEAM programming, and building connectedness and helping students to really, and families to feel really involved and engaged. So again, we're really sad that I submitted actually the final grant report this afternoon. And I know that our Waterville Parent Association are always willing and open to other ideas to bring in funding to help support our student interests and our family and our community. So thank you so much, Marissa, and to all of our families.
Okay, so as you can see, we are so thankful for the community partnerships that we have with all of our parent groups and organizations that do so much. We really are very thankful for the amount of time and dedication that they show to be able to provide the opportunities that they do to our students. We also have a staff that is absolutely wonderful, and that is the next item that we are going to do is we're going to recognize our staff members of the year. And I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. Hollinger to introduce our first staff member of the year.
All right, Bob Rayom, please come on up here. This might be the one time he cringes when I ask him to do something for me. And I could seriously go on and on with complimenting Bob and all of the things that our staff appreciates about him. He is incredibly hardworking. He is so pleasant. He's one of those people that he's like all day long. Every time someone comes up and talks to Bob, it's because we want him to do something for us or asking him to do something that no one else wants to do. And Bob is always like, no problem. Yeah, that's fine. It's for the kids. It's for the students. He just goes out of his way to connect with our staff, connect with our students and our families. He remembers really important details about everybody. We're so thankful for him and grateful, and we're just really lucky to have you, Bob.
And next we have, we're going to have a stand-in for Mr. Smith. We're going to be introducing our Certified Teacher of the Year, and Mr. Tanzel is going to do that presentation tonight.
All right, when Mr. Smith is not available, I do get his stand-in work. So Bethany Swift, if you could come on up, please. Much like Mrs. Hollinger said, Bethany is probably comfortable in any situation in the school until we get here. She's an amazing 5th grade math and science teacher at Fallen Timbers Middle School. Bethany understands the importance of building strong relationships with her colleagues, parents, and especially her students. She instills in her students the understanding that failure is a natural part of the learning process, and one former student put it like this. Mrs. Swift said that failure doesn't bother her, she just wants us to try. So that would be good for all of us, just try. Her belief in the potential of every student combined with her kindness, dedication, contributes significantly to the success of her students. She often empathizes, these are somebody's kids, I would want somebody who cares to teach mine. Matt was really long-winded with this, so. Bethany also serves as our math department chair at Fallen Timbers. Whenever we need anything, Bethany is there to always help out. She worked with the team who developed the Portrait of a General Competencies, and she was invited to attend the Battelle for Kids National Conference because of her work with the Portrait of a Graduate. She recently attended the Ohio Middle Level Conference, showing she constantly looks to improve her craft, and she stands out as an invaluable member of the Anthony Wayne staff by demonstrating remarkable flexibility, knowledge, dedication, and her unwavering belief that Anthony Wayne community is evident through her consistent willingness to contribute. Bethany is not only an elite educator at Anthony Wayne, but in the state of Ohio. It is highly deserving as our certified staff member of the year.
Again, we feel very fortunate to have these individuals on staff as well as everyone that takes good care of our students each and every day. Next, we're going to move into Victory Day. I've asked Mr. Brungard to bring a couple of his individuals, some of his athletes with him to explain to you what Victory Day is, just to share some of the great things that go on in the school each and every day. We'd like to share some more incredible students that we have that have had great accomplishments in their organization, and that's the FCCLA.
But I'm a teacher. Okay. I also have notes because I, as well, have a tendency to be long-winded. Thank you so much for providing us time to come and share with you tonight. I am Kaylin Schaller, and I am your Penta Career Center satellite teacher at Anthony Wayne Junior High School. And my colleague is,
Amanda Valdez.
and she is your Penta Career Center faculty member for Family and Consumer Sciences at Anthony Wayne High School. And I am so pleased to be able to present to you tonight some of our brightest students that have achieved at the highest level this year in FCCLA, which stands for Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. It is the Career Tech student organization that is associated with Family and Consumer Sciences education. And these students, they all performed at the highest level this year at the national level in Seattle, Washington. And these members, these students that you see in front of you, all of them began personal projects last fall for no grade. There was no extra credit. They chose these projects that were passion projects for them. And they completed an amazing amount of research and then developed personal oral presentations to share their projects with panels of judges, of which Mrs. McKnight was one of our judges at the regional level, and we are grateful for
You're
that.
very welcome.
And we will be tapping all the rest of you for next year. And they demonstrate their personal leadership. And right now, I'm going to have, we're going to, one by one, they're going to briefly tell you their name and the name of their project and just a few words. So I guess I will hold the microphone. Does that work better? Or do you want to?
Hi, I am Sophie Caños, and I have recently competed at the national level. I did sports nutrition, so I created a 3-day nutrition hydration plan for a teen volleyball player. Now, I would like to thank Penta Career Center for giving me the opportunity to be able to compete. Ms. Schaller, my advisor, for giving me the encouragement to compete. I've struggled with a speech impediment, so she's also helped with that as well. The teachers and staff members at my school who are able to listen to my presentation and give me feedback. Thank you. Hi, my name is Carter Rinker, and I was her teen volleyball player. But I competed at the state, national, and regional competition under the category of entrepreneurship. I created a healthy diner, and I'm happy to say at the national level, I placed first in the nation. And I have so many people to thank for this. But I would love to thank Ms. Schaller because she spent countless hours with me working on my project. I would also love to thank Penta Career Center for providing me with this opportunity and flying me to Seattle. Hello, my name is Haley Dorman. For FCCLA, I participated in the event Fashion Construction. For this event, I had the opportunity to create a dress and a matching accessory. With this dress, I got third in the nation with a gold medal. I would like to thank Penta Career Center for supporting me with my journey. And most of all, my advisor, Ms. Schaller, for going out of her way to teach me how to sew when I had no idea how to.
Hello, my name is Lauren Anders, and this year I competed in FCCLA chapter website. This project consisted of me creating a website for my junior high chapter. I managed to place fourth in the nation with this event. And I want to thank Penta Career Center for not only supporting me throughout my journey, but also encouraging me and helping me throughout this journey. Next, I want to thank my wonderful advisor, Ms. Schaller, for continuously dedicating her time and efforts to always helping and encouraging me throughout the way. So, thank you.
Hello, my name is Amelia Bailey, and this year I had the amazing opportunity to participate in the STAR event, Hospitality, Tourism, and Recreation. This STAR event included learning all the ins and outs of business and creating my own small business plan within my own FCS classroom. I was able to place top 10 in the nation with this project, and I'm so very grateful for everyone who has helped me along the way, especially my amazing advisor, Ms. Schaller. And, of course, I'd love to thank Penta Career Center for the amazing opportunity they've given me. I'm Ari Walls, and I competed with the project Nutrition and Wellness. Through doing this project, I learned how different habits affect my heart condition POTS. I placed first at regionals and states, and then I got gold at nationals. I'd like to thank everyone who helped me get there. This includes Penta Career Center, who supported both me and my chapter, as well as Ms. Schaller, who both encouraged me to participate in FCCLA and helped me complete my project.
My name is McAllister Kushmerik, and my project was Career Investigations, where I investigated the career of an environmental engineer. I got a gold medal at nationals. I would like to thank Penta Career Center for providing the resources necessary for me to pursue FCCLA. And I would love to thank my advisor, Ms. Schaller, for guiding me through my project and helping me make it to nationals.
Hi, my name is Micah Sparks. And my name is Mitchell Feltner. And this year we created an instructional video design project, Frequent with Fitness and Fruits. And we'd like to thank Penta Career Center, and we'd like to thank our amazing advisor, Ms. Schaller. We could not have done this without her.
And what medal did you get? What color medal?
Gold, wait up, sorry, bronze.
No,
I'm sorry.
Gold.
Oh, gold. I'm sorry.
And now for the high school students, these are Mrs. Valdez's charges.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aradhi Mutamala, and I am a junior at Anthony Wayne High School. This year, my partner Grant Hubley and I competed in the chapter website STAR event. At National Leadership Conference, I received a silver medal, and we placed 6th in the nation. FCCLA has always been a very important part of my high school career. It has helped me develop my leadership skills as well as improve my public speaking and presentation. I have been able to travel to some incredible places and meet many amazing people because of this wonderful organization. In particular, this year, I have been given the opportunity to further my leadership within my community, as this year I served as a judge at the regional competition, and I am now a chapter officer. I owe everything to both my amazing advisors, Mrs. Valdez and Ms. Schaller, who have been with me through my entire FCCLA journey, as well as the support from Penta Career Center. I greatly appreciate everything Penta has done for me and my chapter. Their support has positively impacted all of us, and their support has made our FCCLA experience very special. Without my advisors and Penta, I would have never discovered FCCLA, and my high school journey would not be as amazing as it is today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is McKenna Reinhart. I'm a senior at the high school, and this year I competed in Event Management Level 3. At Nationals, I received a gold medal as well as placed 4th in the nation. And through this project, I learned a lot about how I can really impact my community alone without the help of other people. So through my event, I was able to reach out to families and donate over $1,000 worth of toys to the Toledo Children's Hospital. And just at Nationals, I was able to share that with people around me and really impact others as well. Thank you.
Hello, Hello, everyone. My name is Ashlyn Jacobs, and this year I competed with Digital Stories for Change. I received a gold medal, and I placed first in the nation. Yes. I would like to briefly describe the topic of the project that won me first place. My project was titled Taboo because it talked about different stigmatized subjects that are hard for children to talk about because these subjects are known as taboo. Some of those include drug abuse, sexual assault, and gambling addictions. I chose this project because these topics impacted my own personal life and the lives of so many different peers at Anthony Wayne. And it impacted me the most because I learned that I could have an impact on other people by speaking on a topic that I feel passionately about. I would like to express my gratitude and thank Penta Career Center and my advisors for this incredible opportunity that I was blessed to go on this summer. Thank you.
So we have this incredible opportunity as advisors to work with these students on a regular basis, and it truly is, I think, and I think I can speak for both of us, it is one of the highlights of our job is to work with these students regularly. And so I have a student with me here, Grant Hubley, and he's going to share his experience with FCCLA as this year he was elected as a national FCCLA officer. And this is an incredible opportunity for him. He has put in countless hours over this last year preparing for this opportunity. So I just want to take a moment and allow him to share a little bit about his experience.
Hi everyone, my name is Grant Hubley and I'm a junior here at Anthony Wayne High School. At the 2024 National Leadership Conference in Seattle, Washington, I was elected as the 2024-2025 FCCLA National First Vice President. This opportunity would not have been possible without the support of my amazing advisors, Mrs. Amanda Valdez, Ms. Kaylin Schaller, and Mrs. Dova Zach. As a national officer candidate, I met with these advisors weekly for an entire year to prepare for the 5-day election process. Each week, these advisors would take time out of their insanely busy schedules to meet with me to practice questions, memorize my speech, help me write my essays, practice for the test, and a large list of things to prepare me for this election process. My duties and responsibilities as the National First Vice President include keeping minutes of all National Executive Council meetings, fulfilling the role of the presidency in case of a vacancy, fundraising for the Ultimate Leadership Fund, promoting and publicizing the national organization, advocating for family and consumer sciences education, attending meetings as requested, and many more responsibilities. Once I was elected, my advisors' hard work and dedication to my success has not and will not stop. They attend meetings, they travel with me across the country, they work with me on anything that I need, and they serve as an advocate for my needs as an officer. As a national officer, I have had the opportunity to represent our school and state association in national developments to the organization. I've spoken in front of thousands of members. I've strengthened my personal and professional development skills and learned more about my future career choice. I owe all of my success to these advisors, Penta Career Center, and this amazing Board of Education for my success in my role and to help me be the person I am today. Once again, I thank you for your time today and for your continued support to the Family and Consumer Sciences and FCCLA program here at Anthony Wayne. Thank you.
I think we can all agree that Penta Career Center is a valuable partner in education for our students here at Anthony Wayne, as you can see by the success of the many students that we have. Thank you for letting us have this time today to share this with you.
I think we can all agree that they have some amazing instructors, as the students have shared, and we have some amazing students. I actually am hoping that they'll spend some of that time with me so I can speak as well as all of you did today. So, thank you. We have one more presentation that will be very quick, but as you can see, all the wonderful things that have taken place all the things that have taken place since the beginning of school. And just in a few short weeks, we've accomplished a lot, and I just kind of wanted to quickly go over that with you. Along with that, in each of your settings, you'll see that each department and building have put together a report for you to share some of the great things that are going on, upcoming dates, maybe some obstacles and major projects that they're working on. So just, you can look through that, and we're hoping to do that before each meeting so that you have that to look over, and then you can ask questions on. So as we talk about back to school, just a few things. We just had our staff spotlight. Again, we have our certified and classified staff members of the year. We had the whole Waterville staff be given a shout out on 13 ABC, and then we also, as we had shared earlier, Haley Allers moved from our junior high AD and teaching position into Waterville. So some great things with our staff members. Pass through that. Also, the first day of school, which it's hard to believe because there's so much that's gone on. It's hard to believe that it was just a short time ago. But you can see some of the great things that happened. Was also able to go to Penna Career Center and see those, some of our students there. This individual is in cosmetology, and visit with some of them on their first day and so forth. And so a lot of good things have happened. We've worked hard to make connections. You'll see that Waterville's already had a walk to school day. Fallen Timbers, we had the transition this year where our 5th graders and 7th graders this year started school on their own without the 6th and 8th graders. And so that was very good. Neighborhood Bridges is a wonderful program that we support in order to try to provide all the resources that our students may need. And then our Senior Sunset. So they've already had a special time with that, and we look forward to more of those events coming up, such as homecoming next week. Parent engagement, we've had a lot of opportunities already. You can see the Apps with Maps, that's their parents group, the Athletic Boosters Family Fun Night that was shared. We've received classroom donations, first day messages from parents, new student tours, and all the volunteers. I mean, it's very, very active. As you can see, when you go into any of the buildings or across the district, you're going to see great things happening. Learning and leading, again, we have science things going on, math going on, literacy, student council, career connections, and then some of our FCCLA that you just were able to hear from. So a lot of opportunities already also that's going to build the education experience that our students are receiving. Again, athletics, we had our Victory Day, Volleyball Youth Night, All Ohio Wall, tennis banners going up, and just all the events that are already taking place. There is so much that takes place in this district every day, and there's so much to be proud of, and the things that our students are accomplishing, it is very incredible. Also, we've been working really hard to generate positivity. We had the Start with Hello that was celebrated throughout the district, but then we've also done parades. We have the transportation office art installation, which you guys have to get out there and see that sometime. It's absolutely incredible. School spirit from the Monclova staff, and just everything that we can do each day to try to provide positivity for our students, for our staff, and that will then work out into the community. We have a lot of alumni that have already accomplished great things also, so we just wanted to share that. We did recognize our Hall of Fame, those that were inducted into that this year, and we have one of those in the audience with us. So, and then we're going to move on. Making headlines. We already have.
You're not important.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Josh, congratulations. We're very happy for you. I'm trying to save time at this point. And then again, making headlines. We've had a lot of opportunities already that we have had individuals being interviewed. We had for the first day of school, we had our seniors, even when they didn't have to be here. A lot of our student athletes came in to be introduced on the television on 13 ABC, and they told kind of what makes them excited about being generals, what's great about the start of school and so forth. And I just think hearing everyone's story and about the importance that the school plays into their daily lives, I think that's what makes us great, and I think that's what makes us, a school to be proud of. So I just wanted to share that with you again, and then again give you the building reports. I think that again, we can be very proud, all of us can be very proud of what happens here each and every day. So with that, I know that a lot of you have very important things to do. That kind of ends section of our agenda where we are talking about the things that are going on. You're welcome to stay for the business part, or if you don't, this would be a time that if you'd like to leave, you're more than welcome to. Yes. And thank you all for coming and supporting. Okay, so along with that, then our next item is we have our overnight trips. You see those listed. Those are trips for our DECA and FCCLA and FFA, kind of for the competitions that they were speaking about and so forth. Those are the overnight trips that are listed there. We do have educational agreements there. Those agreements are typically for students that are going to be following their IEPs, or going to another place to be educated, or transporting those students to those other institutions. We also have an agreement with Montgomery County Educational Service Center, and that's for a partnership with the Graduation Alliance. We spoke about that in the curriculum committee, and that is to provide students an opportunity for online education that otherwise may not be able to receive the education. So those are all agreements that we have in that section. In section D, we have 3 individuals that we're recommending for graduation. I will share with you that once they meet the requirements, if they meet it before the first day of school, they become graduates of last year's class. If they meet those requirements after the first day of school, then they are considered graduates of this year's graduating class. We have a supplemental text in item E, and that again was another item that was discussed in the curriculum committee, and it was shared that that we'd like to bring that on actually as an educational experience for them. And then in item F, we have the handbook update for the high school. That again is talking about semester final exams, and again was shared in the curriculum committee. I know we're going kind of rapidly. Are there any questions on any of those items at this point? Or anything that you'd like to share? I know those of you that were on the curriculum committee, if you have any item you'd like to share with that.
Is Jim here? Jim?
Yes.
Because I was like, are you going to be here tonight? But yeah, the Graduation Alliance is what it was called, was just a neat program that we're going to be able to offer students who, for whatever reason, are, I guess, different things, like maybe they're expelled or just some reason that they can't be in the schools for a certain period of time, to continue their education. And I was sharing with them that we had fostered 2 little girls. They're back with their mom now, and she shared with me how, she was pregnant at 15. Her mom pulled her out of school, and at one point she told me that she only got to 8th grade. Her mom pulled her out because she was like, well, you have a baby, and so, pulled her out. And I said, well, did she enroll you in anything? She said, no. Then I was just, that was it. And so now she's got her 3 kids, and she's trying to get a job, and she's like, it's just so hard. I wish I had my GED or something, a high school diploma, and she wants that, but she also knows I have to get a job to pay for, my kids' needs. And so when I heard about this, I thought, man, this would be perfect for someone like her, and I'm sure there are students in her district going through things like this. And so I think it's a really just another way that we can partner with parents and help them out, help their students out in these difficult situations. So.
All right. The next part, we have the board policy revisions. I have, you'll see on the agenda, all the policies that need to be changed. What that's basically just changing is, for the past 11 years as the assistant superintendent, I've been the compliance officer. At this time, Dr. Contat is going to take over. He's had the specific training that's needed. So he, along with Jen Carl Thompson, will be the compliance officers for the district. And so that has to, because you have to have them listed in policy, those policies all need to have his name in them and mine out. So those policies are policies that we will be changing. We need you to vote on to change. And then along with that, the policy committee did meet. We are looking at other policies, and we receive, kind of the process of that is that we receive updates from Neola, and we work with them then to determine, that we are staying in compliance with the law. And so we have policies that then, we have input on, and so we're working together to kind of establish how we want to function as a committee. We're going to add some other individuals from the buildings on it so that we can see how, when we make a decision, how that may impact, the building specifically. And from that, what we're hoping to be able to do is then be able to make strong decisions for the district, and as your job as policymakers, to be able to understand the impact of the different policies, and as well as the law that's behind the policies. And so we did do that. We have a couple that we were looking at that we are going to continue to look at, gain additional information on, and work towards. So that's kind of what we need, but we do need to have the ones updated that have Dr. Contat listed as the compliance officer. So with that, we have items B through G. Do you have any questions on any of those?
If not, we need a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve.
Lindsay motions. Do I have a second? Shelley second. And Carrie, when you are ready.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hapkemeyer?
Yes.
Ms. McKnight?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stem?
Yes.
All right. With that, we move on to item 5, is superintendent personnel recommendations.
All right. With that, you will see individuals that are either resigning or retiring. You'll notice that a few of those are midday routes that they are resignations for. We have gotten those positions filled, so we're actually doing very well in the area of busing and having those positions filled. I want to thank Teresa for the work she has done with that. Then we also have individuals that we are hiring for different positions. You can see custodian. Now that individual, the first one is an individual that had been RIF'd, and then when this position came open, that somebody else left, we were able to call him back, so we're very happy to have him back. And I spoke to him a couple days ago, and he's very excited to be back as well. So those are the individuals that we would, and if you notice that we have several of those from the resignation, people that resigned the middays, we have several individuals that we are hiring for those middays on this page, on this section. We also have the substitutes. Dr. Contat and Jill work very hard to secure these individuals and to process everything to have them ready. They are very important to us so that when we do have staff members that need to be out of the classroom or away, that we have individuals that can take those over and do a good job so that students aren't losing any learning during that time. So we have those substitutes. And in section D, we have volunteers. These are individuals, the people that are volunteers that are actually being recognized are individuals that will be working possibly one-on-one with students, or they would also be, for example, going on a field trip. And if they go on a field trip, they would be in charge of having a small group of children by themselves. The ones that we do have listed, those volunteers also do get background checks and so forth before we actually board approve them. So. In section E, you'll see supplemental contracts. We have Marissa Dezell, which is the athletic director for the junior high. I had mentioned that Haley Eller had gone to be the dean of students at Waterville. She is resigning from her position as the AD, and so Marissa's taking over. We're excited about that, and I know that Jordan's working closely with her to help with that transition. Then finally, in section F, you have the contract amendments, individuals that are making changes to what they are contracted for on a daily basis. So that would be like if they would need a day off or so that doesn't fall under one of our categories for being off. So any questions on those items?
If not, I need a motion to approve.
I will move to approve.
Mike moves. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Either Shelley or Jeff, you pick. And then Carrie, when you're ready.
Let's give it to Jeff.
Who was that?
Who do you pick? Shelley or Jeff? You pick.
I thought Shelley had her hand
Shelley's
up,
got
so
it.
I started writing
Or
an
Jeff.
S, sorry.
Boss.
I'll still approve.
I'll let you vote first. Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hopkemeyer?
Yes.
Ms. McKnight?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stem?
Yes.
All right.
We do have a section for board comments.
I know, Mr. Stom, you stated you wanted
Yeah.
to comment.
So first of all, I got 3 kids in 3 different schools, and everyone I talked to is having a great start of the year. All the students I've talked to, all the teachers, it's been phenomenal, the start of the year. And Mr. Herman, good job taking over what could be a tough spot and running with it. So well done. One other thing I want to point out is we've gotten a lot of emails over the last couple weeks, and I thank every single one of you guys that emails us from the community. The website has our email on it, so don't ever hesitate to email, even if you got a small question about something. One of the things that I know was brought up in the last meeting was about the policy for release for religious purposes, religious instruction. And it seems like there's a lot of questions on that as well. Can you once again, so that the community can understand what role the school plays in that, Mr. Herman?
Sure. I believe what he's talking about LifeWise, and I believe that we have individuals here tonight that will share additional information about LifeWise. So people understand, LifeWise is not a program that is sponsored by Anthony Wayne Local Schools. It is an independent program that parents choose to have their children involved in. They have determined that it would be during recess and lunch 1 time a week. We, at this point, do not know the starting date, nor do we know the number of individuals that are going to be attending. I know Mrs. Carroll's here tonight, and when she has that information and so forth, what they have to do is they have to have parents sign them up and then also give them permission. And so once they have that, then they would let us know. What we will basically be doing is releasing those students from lunch and recess, just as if they were going to an appointment. What that policy does not say we are going to have LifeWise or we're not going to have LifeWise. The policy basically states that by having the policy that students would be able to go to a program for religious instruction. Now, if the program is there or not, a parent would still be able to sign a child out and take them to the LifeWise program. Once they leave the school on that particular time, we are not responsible for them
at that point. The program is responsible for them. The parents have put them in the care of that program, and so it's been a parent decision. It is not something that the school is associated with. All we are doing is meeting the parents' request to have their children attend that as if, in things that we would in other ways as well. I know that when it was originally established, they did have in the policy also it stated about, having curriculum looked at and so forth. The part of that policy that people may not understand is that is if we are having those students leave and they are going to take that for some type of credit. For example, if they would go to a religious program throughout the day and we allowed them to have credit for that, then in order for us to be able to give credit for that program, we would have to know what the curriculum is. We'd have to know the instructors and so forth. The way we are viewing the program at this time is simply that we are allowing parents to have their children taken out of school and to attend the program at their wishes. It is not something that we have had any part of planning. We have not had any money that has gone to the program, or do we intend to. We are actually meeting the request of the parents. So I believe that some of you have questions on that, and we certainly would be able to answer more of those through the people that I've seen that are signed up tonight to speak. We may learn some additional information through that. But that is basically where what's happened at this time.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And we've had some really good questions that have come through from these, and I do thank Mariah for answering a lot of those questions and being available to answer them. So as a school board member, my job, or what I ran on and what I'm wanting to do is empower parents to have the greatest impact that they can on their children and make sure that their children can learn in the way that they want them to learn. So that's where I'm at. And it's Archbold High School, where I graduated from, has LifeWise, and I reached out to a few people over there, and the program's going well. They're excited. They said the kindest kids ever come home after going to the LifeWise program, which was cool to hear. I wish Anthony Wayne, as a father, not as a school board member, I wish Anthony Wayne had LifeWise when my kids were, going to school. So that's all. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.
And then with that, we can move on to or you have something? You have a comment?
I just had a quick comment.
Go ahead.
No, just to thank Mr. Herman for the good start to the year. I did take the opportunity this year to visit every single open house, and very impressed with all the schools and all the teachers and staff. It was just really enlightening to see all the kids smiling and happy to start the year. So it's really, really good feeling. Just want to say thanks to that, and also thanks and gratitude for all of our booster organizations and the parent clubs. I know a lot of them have left, but I just wanted to state that because so many things we can't do as a school board or as itself, as a district, that we don't have the funds to do, or the time and the parents step in and do that. So very grateful for that.
Yes.
Well, absolutely. I didn't want to get sappy, but I want to thank Waterville for being a dad for a first-time student, coming home from kindergarten every day. He's loved every single second of it, so thank you so much. It's been awesome. So, but yeah, so with that, any other comments, questions, concerns? If not, we can move into the recognition of visitors. And the first one, so apologize in advance with me reading handwriting, but also we have some people that crossed out because thought it was a sign-in sheet. So I apologize. Work with me. First one with a question mark here, Norman Witzler. Did you want to speak? Is he here? Perfect.
And actually, we do have a 5-minute rule. I would let you know when 4 minutes have passed. You look like you're pretty safe. Yeah. And you do need to state your address as well, please.
Norman Witzler, 18 Kara Street, 28 Mattatuck Way, and eventually 1422 Mill Creek Lane. I've got 51 years involved in, or invested in Waterville. My children, all three went there, graduated, have great jobs. I'm happy with Anthony Wayne. My wife and I are happy to stay in Anthony Wayne. So this will probably be our last move. Well, we think.
Perfect.
I'd like to address the school board concerning LifeWise. First of all, we have many alternate choices for religious schooling of our Anthony Wayne children. The public school system is for public education, period. If a student wanted to read a Bible or say a prayer at lunch with their friends, that would not be any problem. Now, when a corporation or outlier church wants to remove a student from school grounds, that is a problem. Who would protect them from harm? We don't know what's going to go on there. We can't be there. We don't have safety people to go with them. Our schools are a safe haven for our children. I know that. My three children attended the AW at Anthony Wayne, as I said. We as parents took them on Wednesdays to St. Joseph and Maumee for religious education. Do not let this Lifeway interfere with our free and excellent public education here at Anthony Wayne. I understand that their curriculum is a secret so far, and I do not agree with that at all. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. You ready, Ms. Herman? All right, next one we have up is Joanna, and I'm so sorry I can't make out. Thank you so much. Joanna, the floor is yours.
You may have some of these things answered already. I mean, you may have answered some things already. I'm a former classroom school teacher. I've been in the Waterville area since 1969, and I've had three children that have graduated from the Anthony Wayne schools. I've taught in Maumee and White House, Waterville, Otsego, all over. Okay. Our public schools exist for academic studies, with religious education left to many churches in our area who offer a variety of focuses in that regard. We value our right to choose or not choose religion, and I know you've already addressed some of this. It's a personal choice. Public employees or institutions or government should not have to steer us towards a religion. So separation of church and state should not be breached. My concern is really with the people that are left in the school that have to make sure that these children are released and come back. I don't know who would be the ones that would do that, if you're going to do it at lunch or recess. I hate to think of them being excused from recess. That's an important time for them to be socializing and getting exercise. If it's one time a week, maybe that's not so bad. Lunch is another socializing time. I hate to see them go away during that time. And then with leaving and then coming back, they're going to have some personnel on the staff, make sure that they get out okay and that they come in okay, which means that's something extra that somebody in the school has to be responsible for. Because when our children go to school, we think of that as a safe place. And we know that there are dangerous things that can happen when they come and go. And I'm glad you said that the school would not be responsible for them when they were off campus. But I had heard that they would be sometimes be transported by some vehicle that wasn't an Anthony Wayne vehicle. And that concerned me because we have high standards for our vehicles and our drivers. And you say that that would not be a responsibility of the school, but you know, that, it just seems like that's kind of, I think people in the school would feel responsible if anything happened to those children. I think that's probably the most important thing that I wanted to address, because I know other people are going to talk about other things. So I think that's all that I want to say right now. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Whoa.
All right, next up, are you ready, Mr. Herman? Mr. J. Philip Israel. Rule, sorry, I apologize. I looked underneath, thought it was an A. Sure, yeah, I'll move you down. No problem. No, we got two more.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll give you a minute. All right, after that, we got Dave Blythe will be next. Dave, the floor is yours. You're welcome.
Yeah, Dave Blythe, 5131 Eber Road, just north of Ram. Stop in sometime. We'll talk. All right. So, LifeWise Academy presents itself as a program during hours, school hours, for unchurched students. So they use their access to children and incentives, such as candy, to recruit during the day. Many times, kids come back from LifeWise classes, and they've got stickers, and they have magazines. Believe me, I'm a papa, and I know how important stickers, candy can be to anyone in the first through like fourth or fifth grade. My problem, I have many with LifeWise, or any type of taking students out of the class day. They are here for the school day and should be under the auspices of the school administration all day long. This is what really bothers me. LifeWise, their instructors and bus drivers do not undergo BCI or FBI background checks. I used to be the business agent for Toledo Public Schools, the custodial, the bus drivers. You dang well better have it done, and if you don't, you're probably going to be fired. It's important that we have that security of knowing. One of my other problems is that we're hearing that LifeWise tells children that they should choose to obey God over everyone, including their parents, which seems strange to me. I'm concerned about separation of church and state. I'm concerned about children coming back to school, and the kids who didn't go are feeling left out, or they're feeling ostracized. And we know how kids can be at that age, right? LifeWise had hired an ex-teacher who had been accused of sexting with a minor, and the person ended up losing their job. And it was interesting. LifeWise blamed the applicant. They blamed the teacher for not telling the truth when all they had to do was Google and they would have found out about her. So my thinking is stop the expansion of LifeWise, get rid of LifeWise, and anything that takes our students, and I have 2 grandkids that go to Anthony Wayne, out of the schools. Gibsonburg High School was approached about this release time for religious instruction. Gibsonburg, if you don't know, it's not all that far from here. Here's their statement. Gibsonburg Schools does not support using school time for religious purposes. Their board-approved policy related to release time, they believe that student growth is based on Ohio's learning standards that address academic, behavioral, and social emotional needs, not religion. Every second of school time is important. We choose to avoid the substantial disruptions to the educational process that come with RTRI. And finally, Gibsonburg Schools opposes legislation that moves control from the local to the state level, whether the issue is forcing religious instruction time or using public funds for private school vouchers. We believe that all educators in Gibsonburg schools know how to teach students better than politicians, and I agree with that 100%. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Mr. Hearn, when you're ready, next will be Bill Tuholsky. I got it down now.
It's only taken a year or so.
Pick that up, huh?
I'm not going to monopolize all your time. I'm going to let other people speak, and I'm going to back out. Tonight I have something to say.
Perfect.
So, has my time started?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd like to thank everyone in the community who have made significant contributions to our student successes. And we saw that tonight. We saw FCLA and students who were not only in their core classes, but doing in other classes and activities during the school day with great instructors be successful. Tonight, I'm asking our board members to let our teachers, administrators, and support staff that you truly believe their efforts. You can do so by taking steps which will allow them to continue to be fully engaged with all of our students on a daily basis. I mean, isn't that what public schools want? Aren't those the three goals? With minimum disruptions to their school routines. During the COVID pandemic, many parents were upset their child was denied everyday classroom instruction. Some people up here maybe even had those concerns. Presently, LifeWise Academy, as we know, is ready to start a class for third graders. They profess their Christian nationalistic perspective provides the only pathway to spiritual salvation. They don't recognize other religions who don't recognize the Supreme King is who they call their top dog, their top person. Okay. Numerous school districts, as Mr. Blythe have said, have reported LifeWise students pressuring and bullying classmates who embrace different belief systems. This puts public school staff in a difficult position of trying to diffuse this mindset. And maybe it happens at LifeWise, but we're stuck with the ripple effects when they come back. The Anthony Wayne LifeWise director has stated, and she's here, and it was in the Mirror, she hopes to expand her program to K through 4 at all 3 elementary schools, the middle school, junior high, and high school. As LifeWise numbers grow, inevitably, so will the stressors on our staff. In other districts, this has resulted in withdrawing students from art, music, phys ed, and other non-core classes, and from students' free periods. We heard from our support services team, that's the time when they give students at risk the extra help. Are we going to let some of our students leave, abandon that extra help for Bible study? Will they have any greater chances of graduating if they do that? On days when students are released, teachers will need to alter their lesson plans, then use precious class time the next day to give absent students makeup work. They're going to miss more class, and the other students are going to be sitting around twiddling their thumbs, I guess. I mean, I don't know how else it's going to work. Do the teachers have to stay after school, or when? The LifeWise director insists on students being released from school because some parents don't have the time for religious instruction in the home or to get their child to church activities offered outside the school day, or because they don't want their child to miss a sports activity. As a board member, are you prepared to burden teachers with fragmented classes and extra duties because you feel you have a higher responsibility to those parents who don't take full personal responsibility for their child's religious upbringing? As a homeowner, I guess there's a number of you here today, you pay top dollar to have a highly reputable contractor to do quality work on your home. You don't expect them to subcontract the work out to a less skilled crew. How would you feel about that? If you support our current policy, how can you with a straight face go to taxpayers and say, we want more from you, but in return, students will overall get less instructional time from our professional teachers? Our current RTI policy opens the door to all vetted religious entrepreneurs who wish to implement LifeWise business model, which, by the way, last year resulted in $13 million of revenue. In conclusion, this board has a decision to make, an important decision. And I know you all take it seriously, and I appreciate you listening to me here. You can choose to maintain our current policy, but by doing so, you will be sending a message to our hardworking staff that many of our students will be better served by outside agents.
30 seconds, Bill.
Okay, one of you on the dais has told me you are friends with LifeWise CEO Joel Penton and believe in his mission. Another of you have invested countless hours to make the LifeWise launch at Monclova a reality. As sworn public officials, I'm hoping and praying that you put your personal preferences aside. You must take into account all stakeholders, everyone. You have it within your legal authority
Stop.
to rescind our policy.
Bill.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. All right, now we have Mariah. You're up.
Hello, my name is Mariah Carroll, and I am the LifeWise Anthony Wayne Local Director. I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak with you all tonight to not only share about my family and our love for the school district and our community, but also about the amazing and optional opportunity that we have to bring LifeWise Academy to our Anthony Wayne School District. My husband, Brian, is an Anthony Wayne alumni, and he has owned General's Ice Cream for the last 17 years. We've been married for almost 10 years, and we have 2 children who attend White House Primary School. Brian and I absolutely love this community and love serving this community. And not only have we loved having our children be a part of the Anthony Wayne School District, but we made the choice to send them to the school district. We made the choice of enrolling them here because of how much we respect and value the administration, teachers, and staff. We made the choice to enroll them here because of the incredible opportunities available to them and because of the academic achievements we have noticed year after year within the school district, because we as parents have a choice. LifeWise Academy is a release-time religious instruction program that provides parents the choice and option to enroll their child in a Bible-based and character-building program if they would like to do so. How is this possible? In 1952, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling determined that teaching the Bible during the public school day was constitutional under these 3 conditions. Number 1, we are off school property. We do not step foot in the school for our program. The students that are enrolled in our program are brought out of the school to our staff and volunteers to take them to a local church or facility that has provided us space to have our LifeWise classes. Number 2, we are privately funded. We are a nonprofit organization, so we raise all of our funds on our own. The school is not funding this program. The school has absolutely no involvement with our program other than releasing the enrolled students to us, and our program has nothing to do with the upcoming school levy. Number 3, we are parent permitted. Parents must enroll their child in order for them to attend our program. If you do not want your child to attend our program, then we respect that and you do not need to sign them up. We are so thankful for the amount of support and donations we've already received within our community that will allow us to launch our program this fall for the 3rd graders at Monclova Primary School. I want to take this time to address some misinformation that has been circulating around the community about our program. Number 1, we've been hearing that our program will be a big disruptor during the school day. I'm here to tell you that no, that is not the case. My LifeWise Leadership Board and I highly respect the administration, teachers, and staff within our schools. Almost 2.5 years ago, I started this endeavor of getting this program launched in our community. And since day 1, my heart and my LifeWise Leadership Board's heart have been to cause little to no disruptions to the school because of our program. Other programs run during an elective time like library, art, or gym. However, we decided to utilize the lunch and recess time slot instead, like Wasion and Perrysburg LifeWise programs, out of respect for the elective teachers and the elective courses. Number 2, we have heard that we are not taking safety precautions with our volunteers and staff members. To that I say, no, that is not correct. We are taking safety precautions very seriously. To ensure the safety of students and the integrity of the program, all LifeWise staff, leadership board members, and volunteers undergo a comprehensive background screening conducted by ProScreening upon hire and every 3 years thereafter, and complete child abuse awareness and mandated reported training. These practices align with industry standards. Number 3, we have heard that some people think the school board is approving this program. To that I say no, they are not. In 2016, the release time religious instruction policy was set in place for Anthony Wayne schools, and we are just utilizing it. This is an unusual policy for schools to have because parents should have the choice of when their child is released from school, if that's for a doctor's appointment, another program, or for LifeWise Academy. And number 4, last, we have heard that we are an outside third party from Hilliard, Ohio, coming in to run this program. And to that I say, no, we are not. We are a program that is proud to be filled with Anthony Wayne parents and grandparents who are stepping up to volunteer their time within our program. We are staffed by Anthony Wayne moms that respect and love our students. We are led by a leadership board that is made up of some Anthony Wayne alumni. We are generals. I am proud to be a part of such an amazing program that provides the opportunity for children to learn about the love of God, and that provides the opportunity for students to learn character traits like generosity, compassion, gratitude, and respect. This is who we are. This is LifeWise Academy, and this is the optional
30
choice
seconds.
we are so honored to bring our Anthony Wayne parents. May God bless our school board, our administration, our staff, students, and community. May God bless our program, and may God, who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, receive the glory, honor, and praise for what He is going to do through LifeWise Academy and within our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. All right, we'll go back up to J. Philip Rule. I got it right this time, right? Yes. All right. That's what I strive for every meeting.
Well, compared to some of the speakers, we're a Pikers. We've only been in this area 21 years, so. But we did have a daughter who graduated as a junior from Anthony Wayne and has had a very successful entrepreneurial career. We have a grandson who's graduated from here. We have two grandchildren who are in school now here. One of them made a presentation tonight, and someone mentioned they were worried about keeping track of the kids or disruptions. My grandchild that was here and presented tonight is very successful. He was away on a school-approved trip the first day of school, and his mother got an email that he was absent. And she called and said, well, he's on an approved school trip, and said what it was. And they said, oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. So with all that we saw tonight, all the trips that are taken by our children and grandchildren, and they're safe, I think that this program will be run as safe or safer than any of those trips are. We're not flying them on airplanes. They're just transported locally. The other thing I'd like to say is we said a pledge tonight. And in the pledge, we said under God. And either our children are considered as under God, and their parents are the ones to make the decision as to whether they attend LifeWise or not. It's totally up to the parents. It doesn't cost the school anything. And yet, many of the people who are contributing to it are paying taxes to the school system and supporting the school system. So you have good citizens that are supporting this program, and no one's being forced to do it. And I can assure you, no one being taught at LifeWise is going to come back and bully someone. They're taught to have respect for people. They're taught that every person is created by a loving God. And if you really talk to the school districts that have LifeWise, you will hear glowing reports about them. Any problems? Obviously, if people are involved, there's going to be problems. But they're very minor. And the spreading of LifeWise since 2018 it was launched is just amazing. To 23 states, 500 locations, more than 30,000 students. And I haven't heard of anyone causing a shooting at any schools. They're taught to respect people. The sign out in front of the school says, be kind, be respectful, be loyal, be obedient. That's exactly what LifeWise teaches. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rule. Next, we have Shelley Hayes. The floor is yours, Shelley.
Good evening, Shelley Hayes, 6344 North River Road. First of all, I'd like to thank our honored school board members, our teachers, our staff. I look out and I see so many people that I know, and I just appreciate everything that you guys are doing to help make our school the best it can be. My family and I moved to Waterville in 1985, so I know that makes me a newbie compared to some of you out there. A little bit about me. I am a Christian. I attend Community of Christ Lutheran Church just right up the street. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 children, and Mimi, 4 beautiful grandchildren. My 2 children attended Anthony Wayne and graduated in 2004, and I've always felt so grateful for their education. And I felt grateful as a parent while they attended school because I too felt supported by the school. I think that we can all agree that religion and faith are very important to our culture. We've always made room for different faiths in our community. We have Methodists, Lutherans, evangelical Christians. We have students that travel out of Anthony Wayne to worship at mosques, temples, synagogues, and even Unitarian worship services. Families have ample opportunity to make use of the many local houses of worship to not only worship, but to receive religious education. When I heard that LifeWise wanted to take children out of school for character development and religious education, I was concerned on so many different fronts. But what worries me the most is the harm it could potentially do to families. Because LifeWise curriculum is not available for parents to review, a busy, well-meaning mom or dad might sign their child up for what they think is a positive experience, only to find out it's something entirely different. Testimonials from families and faith leaders where LifeWise is currently in place indicate that LifeWise teaches a very narrow theological perspective, one that's not adopted by most faiths. For instance, LifeWise labels as sinners parents who have experienced divorce or who are living in a same-sex marriage or who may choose not to marry but remain living together committed to each other. LifeWise also teaches children that living under these circumstances, that only those parents who follow God's perfect plan have legitimate parental authority. I can only imagine how painful this must be for a child to hear. Any teaching that would encourage a child to question their parents' authority will only serve to confuse them, hurt them, and possibly weaken the very fabric of their family. We have plenty local houses of worship that will provide their curriculum so parents can see it firsthand and know exactly what they're signing their child up for. This is personal to me, ladies and gentlemen, because I was a very busy parent at one time. And for some of my child's education, I was divorced. So I could have been one of those parents that signed their child up through LifeWise, hoping for a positive experience, only to have my children come home and say, "You're a sinner, Mom, you're divorced," and question my parental authority. Well, I know I'm a sinner, and I think most of us in this room are sinners, but we don't want our children to call into question our parental authority or to feel bad about their family situation. So I ask the board to consider the family ramifications of allowing our students to use LifeWise. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we got Joshua Neese. Did I say it right? All right. Floor is yours, Joshua.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me? All right. My name is Joshua Neese. I am a board member for LifeWise Academy. I'm just going to hold this. Over the last several board meetings, there have been many comments that have been made regarding the LifeWise program. And they're simply not true. And so I wanted to be here tonight to try to put some of those conversations to rest and take a moment to address them. I do want to start off by saying how much respect we have for the school and the administration. Last board meeting, a comment was made about not knowing much detail regarding the programming. I completely understand that, and so I wanted to provide a little bit of clarification. We had previous conversations not only with Dr. Fritz, but also with the administrative staff at Monclova Elementary. Every interaction has been extremely professional and cordial, and they provided us a copy of the school year schedule for our purposes of planning. That was the extent of the involvement. The Anthony Wayne School District was not involved in the planning of our program. These interactions took place early in the development, over 2 years ago. Now, we are not trying to hide anything from anyone, but we are trying to keep very clear lines of church and state separated, which we do respect. And we did not want to give the community any impression that the school was planning this program. Unfortunately, we may have given off an impression that we're being secretive, and that is not the case. And I apologize truly if that is what is given off in this case. We are more than willing to have discussions regarding our program's plans. Our curriculum is available via an online request, and you're given a 48 viewing hour window to view all of that. The claims made tonight about what we are teaching is not what we will be talking about. We're teaching Jesus. There are 3 main principles that we adhere to at Anthony Wayne LifeWise. Number 1, we are privately funded, which means we are raising our own funds to administer the program, and I cannot stress this enough. This means that no taxpayer dollars are being used for LifeWise, and any claim regarding the tax levy's involvement with this is completely false. If you are still on the fence as far as how you plan on voting this next election, I implore you to research the financial plan that this administration has provided and let that make your decision accordingly, and not let LifeWise be the dictating factor, because it is not related. Number 2, LifeWise will be taking place off school property. We will be transporting students to a local church for classroom instruction. It will take place once per week, and it will be taking place during lunch and recess time. This was created to create as little as disruption throughout the regular scheduled programming as possible. Our focus is to allow programming to take place with what works best for our community. Even though this program is taking place in hundreds of schools across 27 states, we make decisions on how to run this program here locally. I am proud to be a part of the Anthony Wayne LifeWise board, and I am proud to help make these decisions on behalf of the parents in our community, which does lead me to my 3rd point, parental consent. Children can only attend LifeWise if they have parental consent. And in order to obtain this, they must fill out a LifeWise application, which is completely optional. If you don't agree or think that LifeWise is a good idea for your student, I absolutely respect that, because I respect parental rights and the choice. That is your right as a parent, and I fully support your decision. What we will do as the Anthony Wayne LifeWise board is provide an opportunity for parents to enroll their children in a Bible-based character building program, a program that is very similar and complementary to the portrait of a general. The last point I want to make is to once again reiterate the notion that we are a local program. While we are utilizing curriculum that is created by LifeWise Academy out of Hilliard, Ohio, it is local people who are making these decisions and running this program. Local people who have had extensive background checks and training. But most importantly, local people that are very much a part of this community. And we're making all of our decisions based upon the future of our children. All of our board members, volunteers, and teachers
30
are
seconds.
members of the Anthony Wayne community. We are generals. We are raising generals. Many of us are raising 2nd generation generals, and we're choosing to be part of this community because we care so much about it. Most of us have spent decades of our lives pouring into the people of the community long before LifeWise ever existed, and we don't intend on changing that moving forward. Thank you for your time, and go Generals.
Thank you, Joshua. Next, we have Lindsay Moran. Perfect.
Patty. I feel like you could cut the tension with a knife in here. It's a little uncomfortable. Hopefully we can take a breath.
Please share your address as well.
Oh, 6166 Brimley Drive here in White House. So I'm compelled to speak with regard, I'm going to take this off. With regard to LifeWise, and actually any faith-based, LifeWise is a Christian organization, but I'm advocating, because it's based on the U.S. Constitution, that this applies to really any faith. Given that it's off-school grounds, parent permission, or based on parent permission, and funded by others outside the school. Before I get to that, I think that it's important to just consider some bias that we all naturally have, because we're humans, and it's called belief perseverance. And I think that especially in a place of educators, we can appreciate some of these concepts. And I bring it up because we've seen it so much, especially lately, on social media, even in the face of very clear evidence. We all have this tendency to dig our heels in, right? And continue to believe something despite clear information that's presented to us. And I'm sure a lot of you have been in like Psychology 101, whether it was in high school or college, and they've done these studies over and over again where two groups are given information, and then they get a chance to read these case studies, or however they present the experiment. They are given information that says what you just read is false. But what we see over and over is that people decide to endure in that belief. And I feel like we've seen that with some of this information with regard to LifeWise. And I hope that in this amazing room of people, it has really been incredible tonight to see the work that has been put forth by so many great people. It did make me proud to be in Anthony Wayne. But I hope we can be very deliberate in our own confrontation that we have in our minds against some of these beliefs that I'm going to be sharing with you. So, let's see. So with regard to this idea of separation between church and state, I want to actually share from this very liberal organization that puts all their work into advocating that people actually aren't taken advantage of by a religious organization or put in a compromising position by a public space. And this individual from Fielding University, Cynthia, this is actually from the website of the Americans. One moment, let me find this. The Americans United for Separation of Church and State. Again, this is a non-for-profit educational and advocacy organization that brings people together of all religions and none to protect the right of everyone to believe as they want and to stop anyone from using beliefs to harm others. They themselves share this on their website regarding release time. Okay? Sometimes parents will request that their child be allowed to leave school at certain times during the school week to attend religious instruction. This is called release time. It is okay for the school to allow, as long as the school does not run the religious classes. The classes are not held on school property, and the school does not encourage attendance either directly or by punishing or giving more work to students who do not choose to attend these release time classes. Additionally, students who may miss class may be required to make up missed work,
30
so on and so
seconds.
forth. Oh my goodness, I have so much more to say. Okay, so we get the picture, right? This is something that is protected, and thank goodness it is, because, oh man, I have so much more to say. I'm gonna have to come to the next school board meeting, even if it's off topic, just to share all this. So I guess I encourage you to confront those beliefs, get the information, and support this great organization run by amazing people who are
Stop.
giving their own time, energy, money to,
We do need to stop.
thank you.
Yep.
Thanks. Thank you, Lindsay. And the last person we have signed up is Cheryl Metcalf. Cheryl's perfect. Floor is yours, Cheryl. You're welcome.
And please start with your address.
Thank you. I'm Cheryl Metcalf from 209 Cedar Lane in Waterville. And this is my husband, Jerry.
I live the same address.
Thanks, Jerry.
We have 3 children, 2 of which graduated from Anthony Wayne. We moved here in 2001. And our daughter, Catherine, who's also here, lives in Perrysburg, and she has written something that she would like us to read on her behalf and to the Board of Education. My name is Catherine Reddick. I'm a wife, mother of 4, 3 of which are in elementary school, and a 2005 Anthony Wayne graduate. I think it's safe to say that our kids are bombarded with a wild amount of information from social media and the like. It is a different world they are growing up in, and partnering with LifeWise Academy would be a major blessing for the Anthony Wayne School District. Each year, as we send our kids to school, my husband and I pray over our kids, the school system, and the teachers. We pray for godly influences that will help guide our kids to make the right choices and lead them as we are apart. Our kids are in school roughly 180 days per year. School runs for 6 hours and 45 minutes. To make math easier, let's call it 5 hours. That is 1,080 hours in school per year and 12,960 hours from 1st to 12th grade. That is a lot of influence that we as parents are not a part of. Partnering with LifeWise Academy would be a blessing to so many parents in this school district who are praying the same prayers for godly influences that my husband and I are praying for our kids during those hours apart. When I was in high school, I was positively impacted by an organization called Young Life. Christy Pageant, our youth leader, came to lunch in the high school on a weekly basis, came to sporting events, provided discipleship opportunities at a local church, and partnered with our parents to be a positive, godly role model for us. I know the impact this had personally on my life. It made a positive impact on my life choices, on my family and friend relationships, and it helped teach me that I am a child of God, that I am chosen, I am called, I am brave, I am strong, courageous, important, and valuable, just like our kids, just like your kids, just like my grandkids. Our grandkids, sorry. And I know that LifeWise Academy will be the same for our kids in the Anthony Wayne School District. It's an organization parents can partner with to help lead, guide, and direct their kids in the way of Christ. I promise I know what it is not to follow Christ. It feels hollow and empty and void of purpose. Living a life following Christ and learning and loving Him is a full, joyful, and hopeful life. I believe partnering with LifeWise Academy will provide a safe place for our kids to belong, a place full of God's love, hope, community, and where we can help impact this generation for Christ for years to come. Now I'm going to defer my time to my husband, Jerry.
Which is probably not much left, I can tell you. Thank you, Board. Friends, I'm glad that we can come together and have a discussion, not a yelling match or a shouting match. We all have opinions. That's why we wear blue clothes, blue and red, and we have different colors. But I can tell you this, I accepted Christ in my life when I was 22 years old. My life would have been a mess. It was a mess. It was going that direction. I had a lot of great things in my life, but my thinking was wrong, and things that came across my path I couldn't get away from. When I accepted Christ in my life, he changed my life in the course of 50 years, 48 years. I can tell you this. Sometimes we learn things from our children, and they're great things. We learn a lot. We learn a lot from Christ has taught us a lot. I love people. I love life. I am probably the happiest
30
kid you'll ever
seconds.
see. I am probably the happiest kid you'll ever see or ever meet in your life. If you have a problem, I'd be glad to help you. You want a gas, I'm going to come help you. But thank you for allowing us to speak. Thank you for giving us your time and how you feel about things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Metcalf. With that, that concludes our recognition of visitors portion. With that, if the board doesn't have anything else, I need a motion to adjourn.
Before we do, I just would like to share, I do think it's important, what you'd shared about respecting each other's opinions and being able to voice, our concerns and stuff, and to be able to listen to those and to understand different perspectives. And I really do believe that that's what we as a board and as an administration do and work to try to, provide, policies and guidelines and stuff that the community can be proud of. And so, I do want to thank all of you. I want to thank you for the time that you took out of your nights to come in and to share your feelings and your thoughts, because they're important to you. And I will truly believe that when someone is willing to do that and sharing information like that, it's because they feel very strongly about it. And so that's why I want to thank all of you for sharing your views, even if they're different from one another's, because it allows us, information as we make our decisions and so forth. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herman. Beautifully put, as always. With that, we have a motion to adjourn.
I will move.
Mike moves. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Shelley, you were closest. Shelley's second. And Carrie, when you are ready.
Mr. Baden?
Yes.
Mrs. Hapkemeyer?
Yes.
Ms. McKnight?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Stem?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys.